All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Janitorials Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the first 3 episodes that we've done. This one, we never do scripted. We have some subjects, but this one is just whatever comes to your brain, bring it up.
Off the dome.
Speaking to the mic.
Yeah.
Joe Barry to my left. Jerry to my right.
This is going to be a wild one.
Yeah, we're going to see where this one goes. That's our tag. Let's see where this goes. We could go down any road on this one. So whatever comes to your brain, bring it up.
I mean, let's dig back into surviving the collapse.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
We didn't really get to dig into it. We kind of get sidetracked.
We scratched the surface.
Yeah, but digging in deeper to that. What are things that you're working on that you think that that most people don't think about, like certain skills or preps or
So
things that you need to do to prepare?
something very simple. Before I came here, we had a power outage.
Mm-hmm.
You lose your power. Do you have a second source of heat?
Right.
I mean, we're getting into, it's December here, so it's pretty cold.
Yep.
Today was kind of warm, but I have a wood stove that I've been meaning to put it down in the basement for a second source of heat.
Yep.
Just in case we run out of heat or lose power,
Yep.
we can stay warm. A lot of people don't think about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's something on my to-do list. I do have like a to-do list or a
Yep.
wish list of what I want to add. The smokehouse was another one. I want to do a root cellar. Don't have a root cellar, but
Yep.
I want to do something that's a little different. And what's on my list is you dig a hole and you have an underground greenhouse.
I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen
I
that.
have 2 greenhouses now.
I've seen
That's
it.
my next one. That's going to be a big project, though.
You get below the frost line and you can grow all year round, no matter what the temperature. Dude,
Yep.
I've seen it. And I was just like, what?
Yep, that's on my wish list.
Yeah. To be able to get to that level to accomplish that, because I mean, we talking about outdoor growing.
No.
Get below the frost line.
Yeah.
And growing all year round. Like, that's like ultimate survival shit
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Using the Earth's heat.
Right.
Yep.
At the core.
Right.
And then above, I just want to get old windows, and that's build like an A shape.
Yep.
And however long it is, and it's just going to be solid windows up top.
Help radiate heat inside and
dig, way below the frost line, a trench all the way up, and I'll have a water, like run a garden hose and have water year round. Never have to worry about rolling up the hose. And
how are you going to get the supplies for that?
What do you mean?
To build what you want to build.
So a lot of people, when they destroy old barns and old farmhouses and stuff, or an older house that's swapping out their windows for the updated version, you can buy them dirt cheap, and they don't have to match.
Yeah, right.
I got a couple old farmhouse windows in my garage.
So that's what I want to do, is just get a whole bunch of old farmhouse windows, and
I did.
And
I never realized it because we've been in there a lot. So
it's in there.
I never realized it.
Yeah. So that's what I want to do. But the material, though, something else that I want to do is I want to buy like a sawmill, not like a huge one, but something that I can roll. And it goes up and it's on its own trailer and it unfolds and you just run it with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
That way I can start cutting down some trees and make my own lumber and use that. So that's another source that I don't have to buy. So I will have to buy like screws and nails, but I have a tractor with a backhoe so I can dig it out. So the only thing I really need to buy is the sawmill and the windows.
Gas.
And the gas for the chainsaw.
Look at that.
He's going to use gravity. Perpetual motion.
Perpetual motion.
He don't need gas.
Oh, just put the ox on the back and
All right, you guys will get a kick out of this, okay? So don't laugh too hard when you hear it. But I want to start hiking more.
No, that's not
And-
laughable.
No, it's not. That's not the funny part. But
It's supposed to be up there.
I'm fat and out of shape, and I don't want to carry my packs and stuff. I want to get a couple dairy goats because they're pack goats, so they can start packing my shit up the fucking mountain.
Oh,
And I'm buying too.
really?
Yeah,
So you're gonna hike with the goats?
I'm hiking with the goats.
What? I gotta. Yeah.
We're just gonna put them in the back of the Cybertruck, and we're just gonna go.
Oh.
hike up.
What's cheaper though, a goat or a donkey? Couldn't a donkey do the same thing?
Yeah, but donkeys are stubborn though, man.
Yeah, but I mean,
Like
Yeah.
goats are real friendly, and they eat less, and I can trim their feet. I don't have to get a farrier out to come out and trim their hooves. A lot of upside to the
Okay.
goats.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Me either. I've just learned it just now.
And I really don't have to feed them that much. I just tie them out, and they fucking eat the weeds around the fence, so it's like a win-win. Weeds don't grow up on my fence.
Right.
What about a llama?
So a llama would be a good pack, but they are bigger.
They're bigger, but I
And
think
you have to shear them. And I don't want to shear them. Goats have hair. They have like a wool.
when you say shear, what do you mean? Like you can't just pluck a couple of feathers out. What do you mean by shear?
They don't have feathers. They got wool. So it's kind of like sheep.
No. Okay.
You're talking about ostrich.
Yeah. You knew where I was going.
Yeah.
Talk about
So,
that.
so I
A
wouldn't.
llama
I wouldn't
does have a lot of.
yeah, they have
Sure.
wool and stuff. So, and they make really good clothing. It's real soft. Their fiber's really good for spinning and stuff. So I mean that's another upside if I wanted to do that, but I ain't got the time or the patience.
Mhm.
But goats have none but upside to me.
Yeah.
So I'm buying me some packing goats.
Very little maintenance, a lot of upside.
Sounds
Okay.
like a Tesla to me.
Oh, here we go. Tying it back. Tying it back.
Yeah, man. But quick inside joke with my wife and her friend. Like he went and bought a couple dairy goats for his kids or his nieces and nephews to show, and I'm like, I'm buying them. And I told him like my slogan for like what I want my jerky business to be.
Yep.
And I was like, shit, I'll just tie that in there.
Yeah.
I pack them and I smoke them. You poke them, I smoke them.
Oh, I like it.
Tie
I like
back
it.
into the fucking
I like it.
smokehouse I want to build.
I like it. I like it. Right on the package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right off the top of the head, I know Joe Bear, North Carolina. These dudes shooting up some transformers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, to talk about something relevant, yeah, I mean, across, I mean, what we've been seeing in the news and whatnot. To me, at first it was like, because the first incident happened actually years ago. There was, I think it happened out in California. They said that they found AK rounds and that they, it was just a story, and then it blew in the wind, and then now
They thought like some kids or something were just like having fun and shit.
something.
I thought it was Arizona.
I mean, I know it was somewhere. It was definitely somewhere out west, but it was. We never heard about it again.
Yeah.
Right.
And then now it's happening the exact same way that it was. So either it's a copycat, or I don't think it's a coincidence. Like I said before, in the
I don't
past.
think it's a copycat either.
Yeah,
I mean, because it's happening. It's not just like one. It's multiple.
but like you were saying, that you would have to know where to shoot it. You
Right.
would have to know where to.
I mean, because
But I mean, there's
I don't want to give people knowledge
there's
of these transformers, but there is oil.
Yeah,
depends on the transformer.
Right. But I mean, these types of transformers, they have to have oil.
They have to, but there's 45,000 people without power in North Carolina.
I mean, I know.
I mean, how
know
many
there's
weeks
thousands.
is this going on for now?
Right,
right.
And these people, do they know how to survive? Like, are they ready for this shit?
Probably not.
Mm.
And it's in Upper North Carolina. I looked at the county. That's why I said 45,000. I think the county has roughly 80. It's like half the people.
But that's just the one incident, because there's a couple of more that's been coming out over the past couple of days, because who's ever doing this, they're making their way. Like they're not just staying in one county. Like they're making their way to different places and doing.
But nobody's been caught yet, right?
No,
So nobody knows their motive.
right.
Right, and the funny thing to me is they're posting cops up now at like substations.
And that's so stupid. That I mean, to
But
me, that's stupid.
Right, because it's been proved they're shooting from distance.
Right.
So
Well, hold on a second. They're posting police officers, but there's a lot of states that want to defund the police too.
Man.
And now they need them.
I mean, we can go down a rabbit hole with this because, you know,
Hey man, it's off the top. Let's go.
so
It's
you
off the
wanna
top.
secure the substation, but you can barely get to let's just say a 911 call or something like that.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
to me, that's not securing the substation.
No, I mean the dude. I mean,
We drive down the same road every day,
Right.
and there's a car there that has nothing in it.
no cop, and I already
Yeah,
know what
they
time
moved it.
they did.
They did.
They
right.
did.
Yeah,
So
they
you
moved
drive
it.
the same road.
Yeah, they
But-
moved it a couple miles
like
down
a
the
mile
road.
down.
Yeah.
But it actually is deterring people
It
Oh,
does.
100%.
It was-
Everybody hits their brakes when they
every
Yeah, look,
time.
You drive the same road every day.
Every
There ain't
day.
Nothing in
And
it.
I ain't gonna lie, I still hit my brake when I see
I
it.
don't.
I'm like,
I
oh,
don't.
you son
I
of a
don't.
bitch, you
It's
got
so
me.
bad. They
I
have a
don't.
fucking metal rod behind it,
Yeah.
and the car is leaning on.
Yeah, I'm not. Already
The first
no,
couple times I seen it, I'm like,
Yeah,
Oh my
the
gosh,
first
shit.
time.
I didn't.
but then like when they moved it, the first time I was like, oh shit. Oh, I was like, oh, they moved it. These
Right.
slick little fuckers.
But look, how I think of it, especially in that little, I ain't gonna say little, but in that stretch of that area that we
Yeah.
travel in right there, you're not gonna catch everybody.
No.
You're not gonna catch everybody.
But okay, we're going down we're going everywhere,
But
right?
it's right where 45 to 55.
Yeah.
It's in this bottleneck.
Yeah,
So-
right. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
We're jumping all over. I'm going to
Yeah.
continue to jump
Do
because
it,
this is
do
fucking
it.
cool.
Do it.
Why do they pull us over for speeding? Anybody know?
Gotta pay taxes, gotta pay somebody's salary.
It's revenue.
There has to
right?
be a
For
regulation.
revenue, right?
On my way home today, doing the speed limit, the car in front of me, state cop sitting on the left in an SUV. We both drove
Yep.
by her, squealed the tires. Oh shit!
You thought he was coming for you.
Because I was on my phone, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck, he's gonna get me for being on my phone. Car in front of me turns left. I'm panicking. Fuck, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? Cop behind me turns left
Yeah.
and goes against the other car. But why do they do it? What was the
Revenue.
guy in front of me doing
What did he
that
do
I wasn't
that-
doing?
right.
Did he flip him off while he driving? Was
Right.
he
Right.
Listen, I
smoking?
think
I don't know.
Right.
I think
Yeah,
your,
I
I
know
think
what
your
you're
wife.
saying.
I think your wife would be proud of me because I went in to federal court for a speeding ticket because I got pulled over by a park ranger, and I thought that they were only on park services.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they went out on county roads.
Mm,
Their jurisdiction follows like the rivers and the creeks and stuff.
Yeah.
So he pulled me over for doing 20 over the speed limit. Definitely, allegedly doing 20 over.
Right.
And I represented myself, and I was proud of myself. I got out of it.
How?
0. Because there's so many flaws that he had on the ticket. But
Mm.
I did ask after, like, where can I find the jurisdiction? Because I didn't know that they had, the power to go on county roads.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, it's because of how the river flowed.
Yep.
It
yep.
went over the county line.
over
the county
those
road.
Sons of bitches.
Yep.
And so it's right up here. Like they sit right at the county line.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll drive by without my seatbelt on. I'm like, turn around because by the time you catch me, I'll already be across the bridge.
Yep.
And I'm in a different county.
So, but here's the thing. So, even though like where he got me was on their jurisdiction, and he's like, "Oh, well, there's placards on the trees." I'm like, "Well, I'm not looking in the fucking trees."
Right.
Like for where he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "You just got to know." But where he pulled me over was out of his jurisdiction, and I questioned it like in court and everything. So with everything that was wrong with my ticket and the jurisdiction,
Mm.
they dropped the case.
Dang.
Yeah,
I know you were worried about that.
I was,
but,
man.
yeah.
I was.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's no points if you get pulled over by those park rangers. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
it's all revenue driven.
Then what is the point?
Yep.
Is to get the money.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. It's part of the game, right?
Right. Right.
They got to get tickets.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Goes back to, all the regulations and the corruption and shit like that. I mean, in my opinion.
But what I completely disagree with is the speed trap cameras. Because how can you defend yourself in court? Because you're supposed to be able to go up against your defender, right? Like,
Right.
and how can you go up against a fucking camera?
Right.
So that's why they have those people sitting in like the construction
cars.
zones.
Yeah.
That way they can be witnessed and they have to go to court.
Yeah,
We
that got
don't-
brought up in Arizona when
I don't have that in my state. Just saying. Go ahead.
Yes, you do.
No.
You don't have the people sitting in the roadways, but you have speed cameras.
Where?
Yes, you do.
No.
But you don't have any in school zones.
No.
You don't have red light cameras.
Dude, do you know that the people would revolt? We already poor in my state. Like, you're gonna try to make people poor?
I got a ticket going into West Virginia, and it wasn't by the
It was
no,
by
I
a
didn't.
camera.
No, I didn't. Nope. Because it doesn't travel from state to state.
What's that?
So if you get like, since you're West Virginia, you come into Maryland and you like fly past the speed trap camera.
Yeah.
They don't mail you the bill because you're in a different state. It's only for people that live in that state. Same with red light cameras.
Are you sure about
Positive, 100%. Yep. Because I was following my mom one time, and I was going just as fast as she was. I got a ticket, she didn't.
The reason why I'm like the long pause here is because that shit's not like that in DC. DC, it don't matter.
DC's not a state.
Well, I know, but they got all the speed cameras and shit like that. And I thought, I mean, just DC and Maryland, they operate pretty much the same way, almost, So that's why I'm kind of like shocked, because I ain't think really,
And just for everybody's awareness, if you're like us, you go up to Pennsylvania, you get a ticket,
Yeah.
It's only the fine. Points don't transfer.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Off the top of the head, how do y'all feel about all these companies laying off 50% of their labor force?
So
20% of the labor force, like.
I knew this shit was coming. I already knew it was coming. Months. I mean, honestly, I knew this shit was coming a while ago. Because of the whole green initiative and these new regulations and stuff that's supposed to be, not handed down, but all these new regulations that's supposed to be implemented with these not new companies, but with these companies,
What do you, I
know,
actually
but
haven't heard of this. So
Amazon laid off like 40% of their labor force.
are they
So
replacing them with robots and stuff?
yeah,
Not exactly.
Well-
I think that's a long time ago, but they're not immediately replacing them with robots. But
yeah, I think right now,
I'm 50-50 on it. Give me 5 robots and
yeah.
we'll
Imagine
get
how much shit we can get done.
Get done.
We smoke break all day, shit still getting done, But
I'm giving him a look like, motherfucker, I ain't your robot.
Give me 5 more Zacks. We're good.
Give me 5 more Zacks. But I mean, like we spoke a little bit. We touched on it in the secret society stuff. I think this is a controlled demolition of society. To get people moved on to more government assistance. Because I mean, you wouldn't have a choice if you're not working, you can't. You're not a whole bunch of hungry people is not going to be out there rioting and protesting. I mean, maybe the first week or a couple of weeks, but that shit ain't going to last long. You out there rioting and looting shit on an empty stomach, and you go out and loot TVs, and then after a while, I think they finally realized, like, okay, well, we can't eat TVs and remotes So we need to get food, but that shit would be gone quick. That shit will be gone very quickly.
Didn't we kind of
But
see that
It's
like,
just no
in
complaints.
2020?
yeah, right. That was just a precursor to be honest, I think with all these layoffs that's supposed to be happening, because I didn't think it was going to happen before the holiday. I predicted that was going to happen after the holiday, so that they can use everybody up. But to be honest, it looks like that we're no longer needed. The
I'm gonna
labor
sound-
force.
I'm going to sound very selfish right now and probably ignorant, but I don't really care as long as my package gets delivered on time.
Yeah,
So I kind of agree with that. That's why I say it's no complaints.
Unless you're the person working.
right.
That's
And
why.
you're
I'm
But
like,
that's
right.
But
So I
give
mean,
me
it's
5 robots,
right.
it'll get done. All they have to do is.
And if somebody comes up with some technology where they self-drive their own cars, I mean, the robots can drive the cars. So
It sucks because I'm kind of talking myself out of the job that I have, but fuck it, I can be replaced and replace me. You know.
so y'all kind of talking about like a normalcy bias, like
Kind of.
like as long as it's not if it's not affecting y'all, if it's not touching y'all's wallets and shit, then you're just like whatever.
yeah.
No,
But like I said,
if
now
I
if-
can be replaced, replace me with a robot.
But
Yeah.
I'll go
and
find another means.
I'll go build the robot. You know what I mean?
Right,
I'll find
right.
some-
I'll fucking start
Right.
selling tomatoes.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back to bartering. I'll
You-
barter with robots.
you, I mean, at that
They're going to
to a
get
certain
charged somewhere.
point, you won't need the tomatoes anymore. That could be lab grown.
Well, then I,
mean, they already
just
are.
Figure it out. You know, I don't know.
I mean, they already are.
Yeah,
Like the tomatoes now, like when they go in the trucks, before they hit the stores, they're green. And by the
Right.
time they get to the store, they're ripe.
right.
The
So
shit they spray on them and shit. Yeah.
I was just talking to my daughter, my 8-year-old, about that. Because she was like, "How do we?" She's asking questions.
Yeah. How are we getting?
Right.
fresh
How's their fruit? And
Yeah.
vegetables and
wintertime?
Right. So she's like connecting dots, and
Yep.
I'm like,
Nice.
but yeah. So I explained to her about a little bit about what they do, and they spray the chemicals on the food and all that stuff, and over long term, shit's not good for you, blah 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 blah. But yeah, I mean,
No, it's not blase about. That's nice. Good.
yeah. Trying to teach her
Right.
something.
Yeah. Good.
We my wife and I, we really hit home with our children the self gardening and growing our own food. That's we always talking about that. Even though we could be out out to dinner, and we taking a couple bites and we're like, ugh, my daughter's like, ugh, this broccoli isn't, or this doesn't say, and we're just like, well, use it as a teaching moment.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
You know.
brought that up because, like, if you go to a restaurant or something and you eat something and then you eat something that's homegrown, like I used to help my grandma till the garden and
Yeah.
we pull it out, we'd eat cucumbers out of it. If I go get a cucumber out from the store
No
or a
taste.
tomato, you're like, well, this is way different than
Yeah,
what it should be.
right. Because it's all produced over.
Dude, I had bought a
Quantity.
pickle in fuck, man. I can't even remember the last time we bought pickles.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like we can our own,
Yep.
and it's just
She didn't do much. It was tomatoes, cucumbers. That's about it.
Yeah.
I just need to figure out how to keep them crisp, like the store bought. Because it gets a little
Well, you
mushy,
know
like
how.
when
Right.
you know what I mean. No, like there's a way that you can cook them, but how we're doing it right now, it preserves them for a long period of
Preserve
time,
'em.
but they get a little mushy.
I actually
doesn't
like
have
them
that
like
crisp.
that.
So I mean,
Either way, like I'm like with like bell peppers and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. I was gonna say, kind of reminds me of where I grew up. Just because I'm going back there, every house that we lived in, the basement was actually
the root cellar.
yeah. You had to go out, open up the
Yeah.
doors,
Yeah.
and walk down.
Yeah.
But every house that I lived in, none but jars, right?
Yeah. That was
You
that
go
was like
down in my
yeah.
basement. I still have all the shelves,
Yep.
and I had to convert a room for our dogs, so, like my wife can bathe them and trim them and stuff. But that used to be the canning room,
Yeah.
and the whole way around the whole wall is the shelves for all the cans.
Peppers in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like we do a shitload of canning, man. Like we do. My wife's grandmother has a pear tree at her house. We'll collect pears. We make jam. We make all kinds of shit and jar it.
Yeah.
We grow strawberries. We make jam, all kinds of shit.
Nice.
Syrup, blueberry syrup. Oh man, that's good.
I love.
We do a lot of.
Why are you bringing none of that?
That's what the fuck we need. We
because
need to
that's the good shit.
take the blueberry and put it up here.
Hey, I'll bring it.
You know what this guy brings me? He brings me some shit, and he says it's what's it called?
Crackler.
Yeah.
Crackling?
Okay. My man sitting to my left loves it.
Yeah. You
Let
talking
me tell
about
you what this is?
what was it called?
I call it crackling.
Well, you talking about the
It's just the
it's
skin
the
and the
fucking
lard
scratch
and
or not scratch?
Yeah.
So imagine
I forgot what it's called.
a grill, and you just scraped off all everything,
No,
all the
no,
white
no,
lard on there, and then they put some pigskin on it, and he's like, "Take a bite."
All right, so
I
how
took
do you?
a bite? I
so-
threw up like I damn.
No.
It was so good.
I held it back.
All right, look. So this
The
is
worst thing I've ever eaten in my life.
so
No.
it's the leftover process of when you make lard.
This is the shit. Like, I love it.
Yeah, it was good. Oh, it like disintegrated in my mouth.
So
It tastes like pork rinds.
it's exactly it. So you take the fat from the hog when you butcher, and you take the rinds from the skin,
I still cook in lard.
and that's how you make lard.
I
You
use
boil
lard.
it, and then you put it in the squeezer, and you squeeze it all out, and it makes little patties, and you get all the juice out of it, and that's your lard. After you let it sit, it firms up, and it turns into lard. That leftover is crackling. So you just
you didn't give me crack.
It's like fucking crack, dude. You won't stop. You won't stop eating it. It's like fucking crack.
No, I remember your face when you had it. You're just like, ugh. But it tastes like lard butter. It tastes good.
Delicious.
It tastes good to me.
But I do like it fresh, like where it's still hot. Oh man,
Oof.
everybody fights over it.
Everybody fights.
That's one fight. I'll just sit back and watch.
You guys got it. Yeah.
It's just like pork rinds.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
It is
the worst thing I've ever eaten in my entire life.
no. Yeah.
Hurt my feelings.
I remember your face. You was like, ugh.
Now let's see. What else have I brought in work? I brought jerky in. I brought some home pickles.
Yeah, the pickles were good. The jerky, I liked one, not the other one.
Yep. I try different recipes and I bring it in for these guys to try it.
Yeah.
So I mean, everybody sitting here at this table's had my meat in their mouth and had a pickle. Had my pickle in their mouth.
God damn it, Jerry.
Jerry's meat platter, baby. Meat so tender, don't need no teeth to eat my meat.
Oh God.
I'm telling you, man, I'm making some T-shirts. I'm selling it.
Hey, I'll rock it. I'll rock it. Yeah.
Look at Zach.
Truth
Like, I can't even come back.
We're all talking shit on the CB radios like that.
Yeah.
Too
Joe Barry likes spicy, so I brought him
Yes.
my spicy pickles.
Yeah.
What do you got over here, man? Tell me what you got.
So I wanted to try to stay in a seasonal celebratory mood here. So my wife provided me some nice decorative things here to support our season. Well, I also have here is a nice unit in scanner that I utilize every once in a while. I get stuck in traffic. I pull it out of my backpack, hit this bad boy, and I just listen.
That's the same one that the first responders and stuff use, right?
Yeah.
Like the older. That's an older version.
Yeah, this is older. I think this is still because they got digital and analog.
Yep.
This is the digital, but they do a lot of masking. They like police departments and stuff like that. I don't know what device it is, but they can mask their transmission, so you can't. I don't know how they do it, but
That's crazy, especially for like Virginia states. Like you can't even have like a police radar in your car.
right,
What do you think the
Right.
radius is on that? What, 2-3 miles?
dude.
No, I think
no,
it's
it's-
further than that.
It's further, it's
Yeah.
further, but
But like you can get all the police calls and all that shit on that stuff.
yeah. So I listen to drunk driving. People getting put over drunk driving. They running. You can hear them talking back and forth. They use a lot of the code, the lingo code,
Yeah.
the radio lingo code,
And
and stuff like that. Yeah, yep. So, but I mean, I've listened
10-9.
to, yeah, 10-9.
Yeah, 10-9.
Oh, I'll
Can
let
you
yeah,
repeat, please?
yeah, right,
10-7.
right. But I mean, depending
10-22. Naked person running.
10-22,
10-100.
304.
It's
Okay,
bathroom break.
no, let me quit. 187. I'm an undercover cop. No, I'm just saying. But I mean, you could switch out the antennas and then get a wider radius.
Wider rated.
Yeah.
But I see you got the Christmas tree on top. Do you guys have? I don't have a real Christmas tree.
So
I don't
You
even
know.
have a fake Christmas tree. We got. It's like this big and it's got lights in it.
Yeah.
So funny story. We used to always get.
I didn't even.
It's
for
on.
real?
It's on the. When we go upstairs, I'll show you. It's on.
I
The
thought y'all had the one that's like.
I figured it would
At
be
the
a big
corner
one
of
in
the
front of
house.
the fucking
Yeah,
windows or
me
something,
too.
you know?
Me too.
It's like this big.
Yeah.
And
So we've always used to get real trees. I love the smell of real trees, but one
It's a lot
thing
of
ruined it
cleanup.
for me.
It's a lot of cleanup.
So my son was
Shitload of
just born,
Mhm.
and we went out to dinner and we came back, and when I turned on my light, I shit you not, like the corner of my house was all black where the tree was.
Uh-huh.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Termites.
No. So
Oh.
I was thinking spiders.
Uh-huh.
Get close, praying mantises
What?
Really?
hatched all in my house. Funny story, you can't kill praying mantises.
What?
Yeah.
Protected?
Yeah. So
You
what
had
did
to
I have? I had to
scoop
scoop
'em
them up and put them outside, but they still fucking died because it's wintertime.
Right. Right.
So I told my wife, I'm like, never again. We will not get a real tree. That ruined real trees for me. So we got a fake one.
Ooh. Yeah.
Built-in lights
We
is
got
the best thing ever.
Yeah. We got a fake one.
I'm glad you brought that up. Funny story. Praying mantis. When I first moved out here, I was just a shitty security guard. Right. I was sitting outside in my car smoking a cigarette.
Smoking a cigarette.
I seen a praying mantis fight a fucking bird.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. And the praying mantis won. It fought the bird off and won.
So I seen a shitload of different TikTok videos. One, he was fighting a lizard like got him, and like he put his his arms up. They had like they're serrated. And, like held his mouth open and he bit
Yeah.
his fucking lip and ripped his whole fucking jaw, and then like walked away.
It didn't rip off the bird's beak, but it
Yeah.
fucking fought this bird off.
Yeah.
Like it did the same thing, and then it caught it, and then it used its bottom feet and like
Yep.
fought it off. And I was
It's
like, "Oh
crazy.
shit, this praying mantis is whipping this
Yeah.
bird's ass."
Another one that I seen was he was fighting a scorpion, and he was like attacking it to try to eat it. The scorpion stung it, and then it's just like and died. It was like a little
Damn.
I've had a praying
The
mantis.
praying mantis
on
lost to
my-
the scorpion?
yeah.
I've had a
Oh,
praying
shit.
mantis on my shoulder.
Huh.
Right when I lived in Arizona, and I'm standing outside again. Stupid security guard standing outside, smoking a cigarette, blah blah blah. He's like, "Hey man, you got something on your shirt?" And I look, motherfucker, like right on my shoulder, a praying mantis, and he flicked it off.
Yeah. So
They're big too.
They're fucking
Fucking-
yeah.
Yeah, I know. They fucking,
What's crazy though, after we had those hatchings, like every year there's a shitload of praying mantises around my house.
Really?
So I think a whole bunch of them
they hung
survived.
out. They
I
hung
mean,
out.
we're talking millions of praying
Oh, my
mantises came
God.
out of my house. So I think a couple thousand might have survived.
Yeah.
And like every year we have a shitload of fucking praying mantises.
Do you think it's something like, like if you have a pregnant woman in your house, like a lot of black snakes will come and crawl on your house?
Just like
That-
mice, they're
that's like a thing.
They're
Like,
looking. They're
You
looking
put
for something
mothballs
warm.
out there. Because it happened at my brother-in-law's house. Like, she was pregnant, and then we went out one day on the deck. There was I think I just call them black snakes.
Corn snake,
Yeah,
rat snake.
and it just was crawling up on the
Yeah.
fucking window.
Yeah.
And we fucking grabbed a baseball bat and beat the fuck out of it.
Damn.
Why? All they do is eat rats.
Eat,
That's
eat
good.
mice and yeah,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
the
really?
black snake,
Yeah.
right? The black snake.
Yeah.
They can climb trees and shit too.
Yeah.
They go up in the
Yeah, but
trees.
we
and...
looked it up, and they're attracted. They can smell breast milk.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
that's what we
interesting.
thought that it was.
So, funny story about snake. We were spreading my grandfather's ashes, and this was just like recent. Usually, like the cold weather, snakes are gone.
Right.
Over my grandfather's grave, a little corn snake slithered out while we were spreading ashes.
Really?
What's funny is his mother was a holy roller and like spoke in tongues and shit, like at church, and they had like the snakes and everything. Is it coincidence? I don't fucking know. It's weird. Yeah.
Wow. Just to let you know, I'm here too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Right.
fucking weird, man. And like
That's
my
crazy.
great grandmother like is buried right beside my grandfather.
So
Like, it's the
they're
very next one over.
they probably were just chilling, watching
It's
y'all.
fucking weird, dude.
That's dope.
Believe in a higher power, man.
Yeah, same,
Yeah.
same. Somebody actually asked me during Thanksgiving, do I believe in spirits and stuff? And I just was like, yeah, just like, why don't you? You know what I mean? Like, I you know, I didn't really elaborate down that road with that person because the person is a lot older than I am and stuck in their ways, you know. But the way that the person questioned me was, and it was like a smirk too after, like, you believe in that?
Yeah.
You know, like, you believe in that? Ha! You know? And I was like, yeah. I mean, there's evidence of, you know, life after death, you know, from different, you know, people who survived, you know, or things that they've seen, or, I mean, even stuff that, you know, we don't see with our eyes, that infrared cameras catch. Like, what the hell is that? You know? Like, that's a little, it's a little naive and closed-minded to say that, you know, that shit doesn't exist. You know, that energy doesn't keep going.
So to kind of tie that back in a little bit, one of my favorite movies, Avatar,
Yeah.
like how everything's connected. I know, right? I know. They're coming out with a sequel. I'm gonna fucking watch that. But like how they're connected to the planet, right?
Yeah.
Like everything comes back. Everything has like it's tied together. I feel that we are tied to this earth, and we go back to the earth. We return to earth.
Yep.
Fucking, you know, animals eat us and spread us, and yeah, I believe in a higher power.
A little bit. What you're saying, but back to you. If you guys didn't know, like 3 episodes ago, my man, Star Warden?
Oh, Solar Warden.
Solar Warden, that's what.
Yep. Did you look into it? You
Hold on,
did?
What is it?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Give me some info.
Just what you know, just off the top.
Well, go ahead. I don't want to say anything that.
No, I mean everything. What I know so far is, man. I mean, people. From what I understand, it's a collection of information from like amateur astronomers, you know, and that includes college. What do you call them? Observatories and stuff like that. Students who are out there. It's all amateur stuff that they're reporting this stuff back, and they're getting, man, the photos that I've seen that are from people that are not related to the government or have no affiliation with any media. They just do this in their spare time. The pictures that I've seen, it's like they can't fake that shit. You can't fake the photos, those type of pictures, and
What
like,
type of photos are they getting? You got to give me.
But it
what
started
are they?
making me believe in like portals and like Stargates and like I know there's a show called Stargate, whatever, but like it's crazy.
it's deep.
It's
It goes deep. So the photos,
Dude,
the collection of photos that I've seen, man, look, they they resemble those spacecraft, the Solar Warden program, the spacecraft, whatever they got up there. And that's why I said something in some episodes. I can't remember which episode it is about a breakaway civilization and shit like that. I was going
Like a
deep into that.
multiverse type thing?
Well, no, not a
ain't even
multiverse, not a
multiverse.
multiverse. Just it's us. Yeah,
They're
look.
there.
I believe Star Trek is not that far fetched. It's not that fucking far fetched, man. They've
That's
been
how I feel about like a lot of the fucking movies, man. Like a lot of the shit's like has to have like some truth in it. Like where
Right.
the fuck did they come up with?
right.
Say, come on, Alien
really-
versus Predator, baby. I'm here.
Right.
It's some crazy shit. Some of it I don't believe, but some of it I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, have you watched Prey yet?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You watched Prey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I dig it. I mean, of course, I like, went back to the roots, Native Americans and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I think they.
They tied up that gun back into it.
Well, I was just gonna get a little bit political. I didn't, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but for a while now, they've been trying to cast a lot of women for these roles that men would usually be starred in, and I have nothing against it, but that kind of ruins some of it to me. Just a little bit,
How
Like,
dare you?
So for example,
that's the best one out of all of them.
I checked it. Listen, hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. So, I actually, when I heard about Ghostbusters and it was an all-female cast, I was like, "Oh my god, no!"
That was the best one.
And I'm not even gonna lie, I love every single female in there because they're all good.
Yeah.
They're all great. Every single female in there individually, not just because you know how I was like sometimes like, oh yeah, they were a good group because they were together. But no, individually, they're all great actresses. So it kind of started turning me around. It started turning me around a little bit, but I was kind of like,
Man, but they tied that whole fucking thing back around her.
yeah,
Like she wasn't good enough to go out and be the hunter gatherer,
right,
and then she's the only one that could defeat him.
right,
Like it was like
yeah,
it was
I
great.
quit.
it was dope.
I refuse to watch the new Ghostbusters just because it's all women. And it's not directed by.
I knew it.
It's not directed by Harold Ramis.
I knew it was coming.
Bill Murray's not in it. They destroyed it.
Bill Murray is
Hold on.
in it.
Is he? I didn't
He
see.
is.
I didn't watch it.
Now,
Don't say shit.
but here's the best thing about it. They're not carrying fucking vacuums on their back, and who are you gonna call?
Yeah, well, it's new tech. Don't ruin it for them. It's new tech though, which
It's
is
the
actually
best movie.
it's cool.
I'm
It's
never
cool.
gonna watch it.
No, you should.
No, I refuse.
Especially you should let your daughter see it.
You gotta-
I'll go
gotta-
downstairs and watch
You
something
gotta
else.
empower
Like,
her. She needs to see that. The best Ghostbuster movie.
oh
I mean, it's good.
Hey,
It was better than what I
They
expected.
bring the car back.
oh, well, good for them.
Well, good for them.
I can go down to the store right here, and there's about 5 fucking station wagons with Ghostbusters.
I guess you're calling your neighbor then instead of Ghostbuster.
right. Who
Who
you
you
gonna
gonna
call?
call?
I'm
My
gonna
next
call
door neighbor.
Jeff next door. Yeah.
What do you do?
Oh man. But
Anything
yeah,
else, real quick, off the top of the head?
I mean, nothing really. Just it's good to
Pop
talk
something
about
off.
some other
Random
shit.
shit. Boom, boom, boom. Go, go, go. Like it.
I'm gonna go back. Ghislaine Maxwell. Where the
that a
fuck is
quote
she
from the
at?
movie?
No.
Whoa. Where's that
we
list?
Just talk about a shitload of stuff on this.
No, I was gonna say, where's the list? Ghislaine Maxwell with all the pedophiles and all that shit.
Oh.
That's something that I felt like we were distracted with the Ukraine war or Ukraine, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
That, and
Invasion.
then all of a sudden, when the dude fucking kills himself, the guy goes on a smoke break, the camera's cut out, he's dead.
Who?
The dude, what's his face?
Don't look at me, man.
No, the dude,
Epstein?
yeah. Right?
He died in prison or
Yeah.
jail.
Yeah, but if you watch them, well, I don't know if you
Epstein
watch
didn't
it,
kill himself.
Right. He didn't
the
suicide.
guard goes on a smoke
Yeah.
break, the cameras cut out,
Yeah.
all of a sudden the doors
Oh.
open.
Right. Yeah. Come on now. We know what time it is. To be honest,
I want to see some of those pictures that he had of who's seen the island. Not of what they were doing, but the people that were there.
dude.
That's what
I
I
know,
want to see.
and I think some.
Because I've heard some fucked up stories. Like
Yeah.
people went there and had some weird fetishes. Like
Yeah.
they just wanted to beat somebody to almost death, and then other people like wanted to just like kill them like brutally.
Yeah.
And just
Fantasy Island.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I didn't
Like
know that.
nothing.
I didn't know that.
It was in no bars hole. Like whatever. Everything was up for grabs.
Right. If you had enough money, you could do
Yep.
whatever the fuck you wanted to do type shit.
But kind of tying it back in.
Yeah.
Everybody had something on everybody, so they
Yep.
couldn't say anything.
Right.
But that's the whole thing, and that's actually you just reminded me of something that I was going to say earlier. Stand-up comedians, they talk about this type of shit
All the time.
What's my man name from back in the day? Richard Pryor. Man, if you listen, man, it's if you actually listen to Richard Pryor without it being a joke, man, he be saying some dark shit. He say some dark shit. Like this one time he was talking about him and Paul Mooney going to a party, a Hollywood party. And this is part of his stand-up. And he says something like, he called Paul Mooney Miss Thing or whatever. And then of course the crowd is laughing and shit like that. But I think it was like a roast. It was like a roast or whatever. They was roasting Paul Mooney, where he's sitting in a chair and he's like, but he called him Miss Thing, and he said, and of course the crowd is laughing, but man, you gotta look at him, man. Look at him and Paul Mooney while they're talking about this shit. Like, they're for real. And he said something like, oh, we call him Miss Thing because he likes to dress up. He likes to dress up in women's clothes and get fucked, get fucked in his ass. And they laugh, man. But if you look at the posture and just look at them, man, they're bro. I honestly, I believe that they're telling the truth. They're talking about shit.
Sorry guys, we were just joking.
Right. So I mean, I do believe it. I mean, I'm sure y'all have heard too through, maybe some rappers and shit like that, or people who tried to get into the game, but they're like, no, I don't want to be, I don't want to do it. And they start coming out a little bit and talking about it. They're like, man, the Hollywood parties, they be really satanic.
Watch the other episodes, but that's kind of like what Jim Carrey was doing,
right?
And
right.
Some bad shit
about those two.
Who?
Paul Mooney and
Richard Pryor,
yeah.
Bro. All you gotta do is watch his stand up. Listen to his old ass stand up. Man, Richard Pryor is not joking.
Right.
He's not joking.
Right.
People think it's a joke, but that shit is it's very detailed, man. It's very detailed.
I agree. I'm gonna wrap it up like this. Let's go around the table.
I mean, I've said this before. I'm really huge in preparedness, so prepare. Pay attention to what the fuck is going on in your community, outside the community, worldwide, whatever. But us as Americans, we tend to try to keep our head low and just keep moving until we get to whatever goal that we're trying to get to. But in reality, we need to pick up and look around and see what the fuck is going on. So, I mean, that's all I have to say.
I'm going to end it with a Joey Diaz quote. I don't need 1 million motherfuckers to change the world. You give me 2 solid motherfuckers to stay beside me, we can change the world.
All I'm going to say is this. If you tread on us, you'll get honey potted and go back to medieval times. Native with it. Peace.